Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to hold for 5 minutes. Also, if you drive a blue Jeep with Virginia tags and the tag begins with the letter U, your engine is running. Now, that might be a good thing because your car is staying cool. But anywho, we're going to start in about 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Actually, 5 minutes from 9:30, so it'll be 9:35 when we start. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's commencement. My name is Rossi Bellavia, and I'm the Vice President of the student body. And before we begin, I would like to lead us in a moment of reflection. Let us take a moment to gather in gratitude and reflection, standing at the intersection of one chapter ending and another beginning. Today marks the culmination of years of hard work, growth, challenge, and discovery. As we prepare to turn the page of our stories toward the future, I would like each of us to reflect on and honor the journey that has brought us here. Think back to the beginning of this year, when we all came together at the senior retreat, and reflect on the ways you've changed since then. Not just in what you've learned, but in who you've become as leaders in our community. Remind ourselves, as we go off into an abundance of different places, to continue carrying on the legacy of leadership and community we have built as a class in this past year. Take a moment to thank and honor the people in our lives who have accompanied us along the way, our families, friends, and teachers alike. We are all individuals with our own distinct journeys, yet we gather here today as the class of 2025, defined by the challenges we faced, triumphs we achieved, and lessons we learned. Let us also take a moment to honor the community we have helped to build in our time at Latin. Some of us have been here since we were 4 or 5, while others joined the journey at other points in lower, middle, or upper school. Still, all of our shared journeys led to this moment, and each one contributes to the combined strength of our community. So, as we close the chapter of our time at Latin and open that of the future, let us not forget our collective experience as the class of 2025. Let us carry with us the lessons, the friendships, the hopes, and the dreams that emerge within these walls, allowing us to continue becoming the people we always wanted to be. Thank you.
Now, if you're able, please join and please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That was beautiful. Welcome to the 2025 commencement ceremony for Charlotte Latin School. My name is Rael Gorelick, and I'm honored and humbled to serve as the chair of the Board of Trustees. Before we get going, I'd like to ask the graduating class to take a moment and share their gratitude via applause, whistles, cheers, whatever works, to the parents, grandparents, teachers, faculty, coaches, and countless others who have supported you over the years. To the parents, grandparents, and relatives of the graduating class of 2025, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to thank you for your trust in Charlotte Latin School. You've raised an incredible group. To the graduating class, this is it. You made it. All those sleepless nights studying, every game played, each crowded performance, every hug of a friend and support, it's all come down to this. Today, you'll walk across the stage. Hopefully you won't trip. Receive your diploma. Throw your hat up in the air. Be careful. Take pictures with your family and you'll head home. But it doesn't end there. Today is only the culmination of who you've become in the years past. Whether you know it or not, Charlotte Latin has played a big part into forming you into who you are. It's your friends, classmates, and teachers that have shaped you. It's the Latin culture of hard work and honor above all. You will always carry this with you. Each of you head off to college as Latin leaders. As you head out on your own, you'll find a tough world, but you will be confident, humble, courageous, curious, conscientious, and resilient. You may not know it, but Latin graduates find great success in this hard world, and I can't wait to watch you all. The class of 2025, go fly and fly high. We're very proud of you.
Thanks to Mrs. Cuddeback, Dean of Academics, for her assistance at this time as we give the departmental awards. The English Award. This year, the English department presents its annual award to a student who has an exceptional command of the English language and a remarkable ability to convey original, sophisticated ideas. She has an innate ability to evaluate a text and determine complex universal themes. She effortlessly constructs arguments about the text into compelling, stylistically sophisticated thesis statements. She is a nonconformist. Rather than responding to given prompts for English essays, she frequently creates her own, displaying her natural gift to think creatively. Her ninth grade English teacher, Mrs. Dowd, reminisces fondly, "It got to the point where I looked forward to grading her essays because her original ideas were so thought-provoking." She possesses an extraordinary capacity to discern nuance in language, making note of subtle details. Moreover, she can express these in arguments that are logically sound, displaying a maturity that is far beyond her years. Whether through written work or discussion, she articulates her perspectives with clarity and calm confidence, often bringing fresh angles that enrich class conversations and challenge others to think more critically. In addition to her writing accomplishments, she is a voracious reader. She reads deeply and widely across many genres. She had already read half of the course novels at the start of the AP Literature and Composition course this year. You will often find her reading a book for pleasure before class starts. Her speech and debate coaches note that she always has a book at the airport while traveling for competitions. There is no doubt that her love of literature has expanded her understanding of the world around her and made her a stronger critical thinker. Across the board, her teachers remark on her ability to lead with humility. Though she often has keen insights to share, she still leaves space for others to share their ideas. She is never boastful about her abilities, but has a calm, kind way of leading by example. She lives her virtue rather than speaks it. What she cares about is reflected in the things she does. It is with great respect that the English department presents its highest award and a used copy of The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende to, attending Duke University in the fall, Natalie Gaslin. The Math Award. Each year, the Senior Mathematics Award goes to a student whose achievements don't just add up, they exponentially exceed expectations. This year's recipient has truly been in a class of his own, not only earning the highest grade, an A+ in BC Calculus, a feat as rare as a rational root of a non-factorable polynomial, a string of syllables that meant nothing to me. By doing so with humility and grace, he doesn't dominate classroom discussions. Instead, he integrates seamlessly into the learning environment, always giving others space to contribute. His talents extend across multiple dimensions. He's a programmer, engineer, and data scientist who has been building and coding since elementary school, developing everything from medical alert devices to real estate and investing software to a multimodal website that uses data, science, and AI to produce a sonic representation of the world for Peter Gabriel. Students, ask your parents, Peter is a real rock star. In mathematical terms, this student isn't just the sum of many talents, he's the limit of what passion, intellect, and heart can converge to create. It is with great admiration and pride that we announce this year's top mathematics student attending Harvard University this fall, Adam Stone. The History Award. The job of the historian is to look at the messy and complicated detritus of human existence and try to make meaning out of the chaos. Few students have done this with as much clarity and insight as the winner of this year's Senior History Award. Throughout her career at Charlotte Latin, including Honors American Studies as a junior and again in AP Modern European History as a senior, this young woman's work has stood out as excellent in a variety of ways, especially her spectacular essay writing. She has a knack for homing in like a spotlight on the essential elements of any issue. Her U.S. history teacher describes her writing as masterpieces of deep scholarly insight and thorough research. As one reads her essays, the reader learns he can trust her as a writer, knowing that she understands and will resolve all the nuances and complexities of her arguments. One is always left intellectually satisfied and thoroughly convinced. She brings the same intellectual precision to class discussions where she really shines. Her boundless curiosity, unconstrained by ideology or predetermined conclusions, leads her to ask the most insightful questions in search of the truth, all done with obvious joy and a sharp sense of humor. She instinctively understands that the purpose of the study of history is to reveal the lessons of times past in order to make sense of the world around us in the present. She effortlessly draws these connections between historical time periods and relevant current events, using the former to explain and demystify the latter. For those out there who might be anxious about the state of the modern world, come have a conversation with this young lady about history and current events, and you will leave inspired, knowing that there is an ample supply of wisdom, prudence, and optimism ready in the next generation. The winner of this year's Senior History Award, attending the College of William and Mary in the fall, is Nora White. The Science Award. Every student makes an impression, but there are some who stamp their presence in indelible ink. This year's Senior Science Award recipient is just such a student. Speak to this student for a short period of time and it becomes obvious that he is brilliant. Brilliant is not a term that we use lightly in the science department when describing a student. Though being a scholar and being brilliant do not always go hand in hand, these attributes are woven together in our recipient like two strands of DNA. Possessing an insatiable desire to learn, this student digests and dissects every concept encountered until he understands it organically. Although he makes intellectual connections easily, he enjoys finding ways to explain concepts that help others understand challenging ideas. Through it all, he remains ready to laugh, setting everyone at ease. We have noticed that he seems most inspired when answers have not yet been made clear. An example of this is the Expert Network Map program that he created as he worked through the Fab Academy as a sophomore. He created this program on his own because he realized that it would be helpful for Fab Academy participants to be able to identify reliable sources of information within the Fab Academy community. He recognized the need, conceived a solution, and built it. Months later, he learned about evolution in his biology course. Armed with that information, he imagined a way of modifying his program so that it too could evolve. The changes that he made enhanced the capabilities of his software, which led MIT to integrate it as a resource available to current and future Fab Academy participants. This is but one example of this student's synthesizing concepts and applying that learning to novel contexts to create something new. Such abilities represent the highest levels of cognition. He has the kind of mind and the type of curiosity that enable him to push beyond what is known, to make new discoveries, and to invent new solutions. In the innovation wilderness, this student is a native who creates paths that others eagerly follow. We would be honored to follow any trail blazed by this year's Senior Science Award recipient, Harvard-bound Adam Stone. The Classical and World Languages Award. The portrait of a Latin leader outlines the characteristics this school holds in high regard and hopes to instill in its graduates before their departure. They are those attributes that are considered necessary in order to live a life of purpose, a life of meaning, and a life of integrity. A common thread running through the 6 descriptors is that of interpersonal communication. The curious learner finds joy in daily interactions. The dynamic communicator makes meaning with others. The courageous advocate cultivates friendship and actively contributes to the community. The recipient of this year's Senior Language Award is the embodiment of the characteristics we hope that our students develop during their time at Latin. She is curious and kind. She is detail-oriented and humble. She is analytical and highly literate. This student's tenure has been shorter than most of her classmates, having arrived on campus in the 9th grade, and she has undoubtedly made the most of her experience. She has excelled from the beginning, completing her Spanish placement test with such a thorough command of the language for someone who is not a native speaker that she was immediately placed in Spanish 3 honors as a freshman. She has voraciously consumed every resource and detail of her language studies, blazing her way through the most advanced offerings the department has to offer, making it look effortless, and leaving a lasting impression of her academic prowess on both her teachers and classmates alike. Not content to learn just one additional language, she also dedicated herself during her summers to learning French and was able to enroll in AP French as the first and only French course of her Latin experience. She plans to continue studying both Spanish and French in the future. She is clearly a student who loves words and for whom words mean a great deal. She participates skillfully in speech and debate and reads regularly for book club. She is an exemplary mix of intellectual ability and kindness. She works hard, not simply to understand, but rather to make meaning with her peers and to make meaningful connections within and across disciplines. Attending Duke University in the fall, this year's Senior Language Award is presented to Natalie Gaslin. And now Mr. Valdecki with Dean Vanesti assisting.
At this time, I would like Mrs. Deborah Harris to come to the stage. In 2022, with the help of the Harris and Hutchinson families, Charlotte Latin recognized its very first Sonny's Honor Award. Mrs. Harris, Sonny's mother, is here today to help present this award. The recipient of the Sonny's Honor embodies the sterling character of Latin alumna Sarah Harris Hutchinson, known to all as Sonny, and a beloved member of the class of 1993. Sonny exuded the radiant sunshine and love that inspired her name, and was our exemplar of selfless empathy and loyalty. Sunny's purpose was people, caring for them genuinely, listening to them attentively, and loving them deeply. The recipient of Sunny's honor is one who, in the estimation of his or her classmates, lights up a room with boundless enthusiasm, connects deeply by seeking first to understand, and commits fully to both academic and extracurricular life on campus. The Sunny's recipient brings light, life, and love to our campus and beyond. Sunny's honor is one of Latin's most cherished peer awards, awarded annually at commencement to a senior whose sunny presence helps us all realize the school's charge to enlighten the world. This year's Sunny honoree possesses outstanding character and genuine kindness that have left an indelible mark on the community. Our recipient embodies the true spirit of Sunny Hutchinson, consistently putting others before herself while maintaining unwavering positivity that inspires everyone around her. As one peer beautifully expressed, she has an uncanny ability to connect with the people around her. I'm always amazed by the way she can bring so much joy and understanding to her diverse array of organizations, clubs, and teams. This sentiment echoes throughout the numerous testimonials from others in her class. Another supporter noted, "She is one of the most selfless and genuine people I have ever met. She has a passion for knowing and loving others, which I admire so much." Time and again, her classmates recognize not just her kindness, but her authentic desire to make everyone feel valued and included. In a community where character is valued alongside achievement, this year's honoree models what it means to uplift others. As one peer perfectly summarized, she makes you feel that you matter and makes you feel wanted wherever you are. For her exceptional ability to brighten every room she enters, for her consistent dedication to making others feel heard and understood, and for embodying the values we hold dear, we proudly present this year's Sunny's honor to attending Trinity College in the fall, Maggie Hyder. Student Achievement Award. The Student Achievement Award recognizes a student who has found success through hard work and determination, and who has shown impressive growth as a student in upper school. This year's winner did not take coming to Charlotte Latin School for granted, but has continually grasped all the resources available to her here to advance her own education. While being new to Latin as a ninth grader meant certain academic and social adjustments, she has thrived in and out of the classroom. Her early math teachers in ninth grade and in the summer school quickly noticed her spark and talent and pushed her to take on more challenging courses, not relying simply on her inborn talent. She embraced this and other challenges eagerly and has succeeded at the highest level. When this student was faced with difficulty, she has resisted the urge to give in to panic and self-doubt, and rather has sought out help and willingly accepted the advice given to her. Even up to the last minute before her AP Calculus exam, she was working extra problems and asking insightful questions. In just 4 years, she has worked through the sequence of math courses from Algebra 1 in ninth grade to BC Calculus as a senior, demonstrating pure determination and a willingness to work hard to achieve her best. As she moves on to Northwestern University, we are proud to honor the Student Achievement Award, Alessandra Martin. Leadership and Service Award. This year's recipient of the Leadership and Service Award embodies the true essence of a servant leader, one who leads not from a position of authority, but through authentic dedication to others. This leader's fingerprints can be found across our campus, from his meaningful roles on student council and service council to his transformative work with Club Sandwich. There, he devised new learning about service experiences, designing and facilitating meaningful discussions about food insecurity with our second graders, planting seeds of empathy and social responsibility in our youngest hawks. What sets this individual apart is not just his impressive list of accomplishments, but the thoughtful manner in which he approaches each responsibility. His teachers consistently describe him as possessing a rare combination of intellectual curiosity, unwavering dedication, and genuine generosity of spirit. As Dr. Roth observes, he is a transformational leader whose impact on this community will extend far beyond these covered walkways for years to come. His presence is felt in such varied places, whether sorting donations by Baby Bundles Warehouse, priming drywall at a Habitat for Humanity build site, or showing solidarity with his peers at countless athletic competitions and arts performances. His leadership transcends formal titles because it springs from an authentic desire to lead and serve. What truly distinguishes this award recipient is his remarkable consistency. Day after day, he shows up for his community, leads with profound compassion, and quietly works to build a more inclusive, supportive environment for everyone. His legacy will not be measured merely in achievements, but in the countless lives he has touched through his exceptional capacity to listen, empathize, and inspire. For embodying our highest ideals of leadership and service, I'm proud to present this year's Leadership and Service Award to attending New York University in the fall, Tyler McAndrews. Faculty Appreciation Award. There's debate about what qualities define the ideal candidate for the Faculty Appreciation Award. Some believe that a great student is bold, influential, and assertive, while others value sensitivity, kindness, and joy. One thing is clear. Every faculty member who has worked with this year's recipient is deeply grateful for the way she elevates those around her, both classmates and teammates alike, through her rare embodiment of all of these traits in the appropriate context. This student's talent for keeping the classroom engaged and dynamic while upholding the highest standards of academic integrity is remarkable. That same balance is evident on the soccer field, where she raises the level of play through both her skill and her spirit. Whether she is bringing questions to her teacher after class, participating fully in an in-class discussion, making assists on the soccer field, energizing her team as the pregame DJ on the bus rides, or modeling the yoga tree pose during Project Happiness, this student is all in and doing it with a smile and a positive attitude. We are thrilled to recognize a student for this year's Faculty Appreciation Award who exemplifies what it means to strengthen a community through passion, dedication, hard work, empathy, and joy. Attending Trinity College in the fall, Maggie Hyder. Wickham Award. Through a generously funded and thoughtful endowment, the Charles Wickham family has given a unique award to Charlotte Latin School. To be given annually to a graduating senior, the recipient will be given a check for $7,500 upon graduation from college, provided that he or she graduates with a baccalaureate degree within 5 years of graduating from Latin. It is the family's hope that the money be used for travel after the recipient has received his or her baccalaureate degree. During this time, the recipient is encouraged to contemplate the future, as he or she will have the time to do so without normal financial pressures of having to jump immediately into the job market. The recipient is chosen by a member of the Wickham family and a committee of teachers and administrators from Latin. While academic excellence is not the primary criterion, the recipient should have the capability for success in whatever field is chosen. The success hoped for is not necessarily financial, but success as a contributing member of his or her chosen community. It is further hoped that this person will become a community leader in some fashion. The uniqueness of this award is further enhanced by the fact that each member of the senior class is eligible for it, and each senior is carefully considered. This year's recipient is academically brilliant, a tireless worker, and a deep thinker intellectually, dedicated to maximizing her and her peers' learning in each and every course throughout the day, be it an AP Spanish current events discussion or an AP Chemistry titration experiment. Indeed, her intellect is top tier, but she has the humility to admit confusion or ask clarifying questions in such a way that benefits everyone, helping even more peers to feel comfortable about asking their own questions. While carrying an exceptional rigorous course load is impressive enough, this student is known even more for her kindness, her inclusivity, and how she values community above all else. She leads others by simply being herself. She embraces everyone, enhancing the community that she is part of by building a sense of belonging for all. Every group she is a part of is made better by her welcoming spirit and zest for life. We wish to celebrate her contributions to our community throughout her time at Charlotte Latin, and we are thrilled to honor this year's recipient of the Wickham Award, attending Chapel Hill this fall, Camille Becker. Head of Schools Award. The recipient of this year's Head of School Award has shown remarkable personal and academic growth over the course of his upper school career, especially in the last 2 years. He has shown focus and dedication, a tremendous work ethic, and has reached a new level of maturity that even peers have noticed and began to appreciate. In class, teachers note that he is more collaborative, engaged, and asks many questions. Not only does he motivate them by class participation, but he shows equal, if not more, aptitude for handling academics, sports, and social life. One might think that someone with that level of success would be boastful or proud, but what is most fascinating is the sense of kindness he exudes. As we considered seniors for this award, each time his name was mentioned, it was as if the words humble, respectful, and kind were on auto repeat. One colleague even described him as a solid citizen who's fun to have in class, so polite. Outside of academics, he bleeds Latin blue, whether joining an admission panel to tell prospective families about his experiences as a Latin lifer, advancing our Habitat for Humanity partnership in upper school, teaching lower school students about leadership and kindness, or consistently staying after events like practice and team dinners to lend a hand. No task is below him. When it comes to CLS, he's all in, and he will show up on time, every time. This young man left quite an impression on his lacrosse coach. Spencer Weems reflects, he represents the best of Latin lacrosse team and the very best of Charlotte Latin School. He's someone I have no doubt will be successful in any endeavor he chooses and will take that success to build others up. I think there are not enough awards for someone like him, especially given his humble personality. He's a warrior, battling back after injuries his freshman and sophomore years, not making the all-conference list last year, yet look how far he's come. I couldn't be more proud, and I am honored to be one of his coaches. To know him is to echo that sentiment. As the head of school, I couldn't be more proud and honored to make this award selection, a model of resiliency and recently named CISAA Conference Player of the Year, attending the University of Georgia in the fall. Please join me in congratulating 2025 Head of School Award recipient, Philip Hollinger. I will now announce the winners of our salutatorian and valedictorian, which actually the student body or the senior class knows because both gave an eloquent speech last week at our baccalaureate. Salutatorian. This student possesses a wealth of talents: actor, singer, orator, linguist, and academic, to name a few. His brilliance is in part innate, but also stems from his desire to know the world in all of its intricacies. As one of his teachers says, I often find myself anticipating what questions he might ask to better prepare my explanations of new concepts. It is with reliability of the daily sunshine, another teacher writes, that Adam warms our mental horizons with his exuberance and insight. His curiosity is insatiable, spanning disciplines from physics to philosophy, and he approaches each subject with both rigor and joy. He has a way of transforming even the most complex problems into opportunities for exploration, often sparking classroom discussions that leave a lasting impression. Beyond academics, he brings a sharp wit and a unique sense of humor that balances intensity with approachability. Adam is the kind of student who makes excellence look effortless, though those close to him know how much effort lies beneath. Whether he's tackling abstract theory or helping a classmate through a tricky concept, his presence elevates the intellectual spirit of any room. He leads not by outshining others, but by inviting them in to shine with him. It is with deep admiration and respect that we recognize him as this year's salutatorian, a true scholar, peer, and friend to all, heading to Harvard University in the fall, Adam Stone. Valedictorian. Known for her quiet leadership in and out of the classroom, Natalie is described as a thorough, precise, and deep thinker. Characterizing her as selfless and hardworking, one teacher explains how this student is willing to do whatever is asked of her, and another notes how she easily makes interdisciplinary connections that others miss. Natalie is always willing to share her knowledge and ability with others, making those around her shine as she does. She leads not with volume, but with vision and consistency, raising the standard in every environment she enters, whether it is mentoring peers, guiding group projects, or helping others grasp difficult concepts. She makes learning a collaborative and empowering experience. Her humility belies a remarkable intellectual depth that inspires both students and faculty alike. Her teachers describe her as someone who sets the tone for the classroom, not through competition, but through curiosity and compassion. She channels her competitive instincts into her work in speech and debate, where she is a valued competitor. A model of integrity, perseverance, and grace, she is a shining representative of her graduating class. And so it seems natural that she is the valedictorian of the class of 2025, going to Duke University in the fall, Natalie Goslin. Finally, I have one additional recognition that is not part of our typical list of awards. I have been fortunate enough to call this individual a valued colleague since I arrived at Charlotte-Latin in the fall of 2019. His career in independent school education began 3 decades before that, in 1989, when I graduated from high school. When he began as a young teacher with a freshly minted MA in classical languages from UNC Chapel Hill, at St. Timothy's Hales School in Raleigh, his duties ranged from Latin and Greek teacher to a side gig as a chapel organist, service as department chair, and ultimately as headmaster. It was a fortunate day for Charlotte-Latin School when late headmaster emeritus, Dr. Ned Fox, found a way to run into this individual at an NIS educator conference. ultimately bringing him to CLS as head of upper school in the fall of 2000. Since then, 25 years of dedicated service have passed. They have been marked by his strong gifts in the administration and leadership of his division, his commitment to providing students with all the benefits that a strong academic program can bring to their education, or as he might say, his commitment to what makes school, school. And above all, his never-failing devotion to teaching classical languages and to his students. I know that of all the things he will carry away from Charlotte Latin School in June, and all that he will leave behind on this campus, things that bear his name and people who have been influenced by his presence. What means the most to him is what has been connected, that has been connected to his vocation as a teacher. And so, as we prepare to send him off along with this graduating class, to call it retirement doesn't ring completely true. As integral as teaching is to his identity, he will never truly retire as long as there are people around him, people who no doubt would be better off if they knew just a bit more about the uses of the subjunctive, how to perform a purpose clause, or even what one can learn about the morphology and phonology of the English language from an I Love Lucy episode. If not retirement, what then? The only appropriate recognition, and he has certainly put in the time to earn it, seems to be to award this Charlotte Latin School diploma to my friend and distinguished colleague, Mr. Lawrence E. Wall. Congratulations to all our award recipients. Let's give everyone one more round of applause. I'm Chuck Baldecki, head of Charlotte Latin School, and on behalf of the faculty and staff, the administration, and the Board of Trustees of Charlotte Latin School, it is both an honor and a pleasure to welcome all of our parents, family members, and special guests to the commencement exercises for the class of 2025. It has become a fine tradition to share facts about each class at these events. Allow me to share a few highlights. There are 144 members of this senior class sharing an impressive mean GPA of 3.84. The class submitted 1,398 applications to 203 colleges. Each senior submitted between 1, lucky people, and 21 applications with an average of 9.7. They were admitted to 165 schools and have chosen to matriculate at 72 colleges or universities in 27 states, Washington, D.C., and Canada. 14 of the 22 accepted seniors will attend University of Chapel Hill, North Carolina at Chapel Hill. 7 will attend Appalachian State and Auburn universities, respectively. 6 will attend Clemson University. This is only a small sampling of the destinations for members of this graduating class. In 2025, 95 seniors reported 217 merit scholarships at 82 different colleges and universities, totaling more than $15 million. 2 students from the class will attend U.S. military academies, 1 Navy and 1 Air Force. As if rigorous academics and extracurricular work didn't keep them busy, 109 seniors participated in athletics, 57 in 1 sport, 39 in 2 sports, 11 in 3, and 2 were 4 sport student athletes. Latin boasts a total of 96 all-conference honorees, 39 of whom are seniors. While the all-state honorees for spring have not been determined yet, through the winter, we celebrated 19 total honorees, 7 of whom are seniors. We celebrated 1 team state championship this year, boys golf, 6 state championship runner-ups in girls cross country, boys swimming, wrestling, girls soccer, boys tennis, and softball. 22 student athletes celebrated collegiate commitments in baseball, basketball, cheer, cross country, dance, diving, football, lacrosse, soccer, softball, swimming, and track and field. Latin boasts 4 CISAA Conference Athletes of the Year, one of whom is a senior. In the seniors' upper school careers, over the past 4 years, CLS has won 14 state championships and 12 runner-up state finishes. That is worth a round of applause. In addition to athletics, the class of 2025 boasts a North Carolina Scholastic Media Association first place featured writer, 12 inductees into the Charlotte Latin Service Society, a first place finisher in the 2025 Health Occupation Students of America State Leadership Conference with over 4,000 students in attendance, 2 Gold Key, 4 Silver Key, and 7 honorable mentions in Scholastic Writing Awards, as well as 2 Gold Keys, 4 Silver Keys, and 1 Distinguished Silver Key Portfolio Award, and 2 honorable mentions in Scholastics for Visual Arts. A total of 29 seniors have been inducted into the Edward J. Fox chapter of the prestigious Cum Laude Society. 2 seniors join the growing list of Fab Lab Academy graduates, which requires a completion of 20 certificates and 1 project, respectively. 3 seniors bravely competed long-term study abroad programs, 2 in South Africa and 1 in Italy. 31 seniors participated in Latin travel programs to Argentina, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. 1 was front and center, presenting the 20th International Fab Lab Conference and Symposium in Puebla, Mexico. 8 seniors earned semifinalist status in the National Merit Scholarship Program. And while not nearly as mentally challenging in a show of friendship and resiliency, though, just 1 week ago today, 8 seniors shared 12,139 step journey together to commemorate their last day of school. Beginning at 4:46 a.m., they walked over 6 miles to campus, only to find out that school had been canceled due to a water main break. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would have students disappointed to learn that school was canceled. Class of 2025, they are resilient and intelligent. They are leaders. They are courageous, creative, talented, and impressive. They are Latin. Let's give them a round. Almost done, I promise. Every year I conclude my remarks by speaking more to the parents in the audience than the students. This year, that sentiment is hitting home a little closer to my heart. Cade, my youngest, is in this graduating class. Aaron and I face an empty nest next year. It is weird to wear 2 hats at ceremonies like graduation, where you're both head of school and a dad. Head dad, if you will. Students, today is such an exciting day for you. You have been working towards this goal for so long. For some of you who attended the Nest, this may well be your 15th year at Charlotte Latin School. While you are savoring these last moments with your friends, you are also ready to start the next journey. Your parents, on the other hand, are struggling with the concept that that little 5-year-old girl or boy of ours who started in kindergarten yesterday, it feels like, is really graduating from high school and going to college. This isn't the first time you have pushed us away to make space for yourself. You did it at various stages in life. The reality each time is hard to handle. I remember a parent probably 20 years ago showed up in my office 3 months into school and said, "We need to talk." I'm thinking, okay, what's the problem? My 5-year-old just left me hanging in the hallway. Okay. My favorite thing in the world to do is walk her into school. And she had the audacity to look at me and say, "Daddy, I can do it myself." I laughed, a little relieved to learn it wasn't a real complaint. And then he said, "You don't get it. She wasn't supposed to cut me off until she was 13. I shrugged my shoulders, looked him in the eyes, and said, "We advertise that we teach independence. Independence is what we want you to have as parents, but man, is it hard to handle in reality." There's a song entitled "Steal My Kisses" by Ben Harper. Do you know it? That song is Cade in my song. The reason it is our song is that I was listening to Ben Harper during an interview one time, and he was explaining the origin of that song. He was touring a lot, and when he returned home after being on the road, he immediately wanted to get a hug and a kiss from his toddler-aged daughter. He described her as this sassy little girl that would pretend to come in for a kiss, and then right when Harper thought he would get a cute kiss and a hug, she would blow a raspberry in his face and run away. He would then have to chase her to steal a kiss. That is Cade Baldecki, and so it became our song. So students, here is my plea on behalf of your parents. Don't make us have to steal our kisses from you. We are going to miss having your little sassy selves running around the house, athletic fields, stages. It was funny when you were sleeping under our roof, but when you head to college, make sure you stop and let us catch you one time for the cute hug and kiss. Congratulations, class. Now I will turn the program over to Anish Thoda, Student Council President, who will introduce our speaker.
Distinguished faculty, proud families, and the graduating class of Charlotte Latin School. It is my great honor to introduce today's commencement speaker, a true embodiment of resilience, determination, and triumph, Carson Clough. Carson is a Charlotte native, member of Latin's class of 2012, and UNC at Chapel Hill graduate with degrees in biology, chemistry, and entrepreneurship. But Carson's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. At age 31, he has already overcome more adversity than many face in a lifetime. In 2019, he was on the verge of opening the Giddy Goat Coffee Roasters in Plaza Midwood, a venture he co-founded and grew into a beloved local business when his life was altered forever. With unwavering resolve after an accident, he embraced a new path as a para-athlete, competing in his first triathlon in 2022, just 2 years after learning how to walk again. His grit and natural athleticism propelled him to international races, culminating in a silver medal in the men's PTS4 triathlon at the 2024 Paralympics, where he stood proudly on the podium as the only American in his category. Carson's journey, from a life-threatening moment to a once-in-a-million opportunity, shows us that challenges can become the foundation for greatness. From the lacrosse fields of Charlotte Latin to the global stage of the 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris, Carson returns to his alma mater not just as a decorated athlete and entrepreneur, but as an inspiration who reminds us all to embrace life's challenges with courage and optimism. Please join me in welcoming Carson Clough. Thank you.
The original headline in the news article read something like, "Victim suffers amputation on Lake Norman." That headline was about me, but it was not me. I wasn't raised to be called a victim. You could have called me Charlotte native, or if you ask some of my teachers behind me, troublemaker. My mom calls me the perfect son, but not victim. My family gave me every opportunity a kid could ever dream of. So how was I a victim? Here's the truth. It was my choice to decide whether I was going to live like a victim, or fight to become a victor, not someone else's. A man who's kind of a philosopher in a cowboy hat, Matthew McConaughey, said it best. Life is not fair. It never was, it isn't now, and it will never be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. That quote lives rent-free in my brain because life is not fair. It's not supposed to be. The moment you stop expecting fairness and start taking responsibility, that's when you take full control. So this morning, class of 2025, I want to share 2 great lessons I have learned thus far. Number 1, we do not get to choose every event that shapes us, but we do get to choose how we respond. And number 2, the world doesn't owe us anything. We have to earn what life has to offer. And seriously, if I waited for life to hand me something or played the victim card, would I be able to share this little necklace with you guys today? And I know my brother, who's in the crowd, has reminded me a million times. It's silver and not gold. So I can't totally call myself a victor yet, but keep an eye out for LA in 2028. Thank you, Anish, Mr. Baldecchi, and the entire Latin community for having me back. This is a real honor. I think if you ask any of my former teachers that had to put up with my BS back in the day, very few, if any, would say they would guess I would be giving a commencement speech. I probably owe you a few apologies or at least a round of coffee. A big shout out to Granny and the rest of my village in the crowd today. Here are a few fun facts about me. I am not a veteran. I'm a professional pirate. I'm the co-founder of the Giddy Goat Coffee Roasters, a coffee company here in town, and we have around 40 employees and soon to be 3 locations. I was the reason you guys can no longer wear sweatpants to class. I apologize. I was not the reason that you lost senior prank day. I was in the library practicing how to read. For my grandparents out there, I was once the only person in the world with a built-in bottle opener in my prosthetic leg. And lastly, and most importantly, I'm a huge mama's boy. But enough about me. This morning, it's about you, the class of 2025. When I visited with some of you earlier this year, I walked away thinking, man, I may need to go back to high school. I remember talking with Jay, who's out there somewhere, and we got on the topic of business and that move to private equity. He clearly defined the industry and spoke of his future goals in the entrepreneurial world. I was sitting there scratching my head like, dude, I don't even know if I knew how to spell private equity at your age, let alone define it. You and your classmates blew me away that day. You were all next level. You've made it through Charlotte Latin, and based on my own experience, I can confidently say you've already built a very, very solid foundation. You're driven, and you are ready for what's next. Now, I may not be as talented or as beautiful or as nerdy as some of you, but I do have 12 years on you, so sit back and listen. We do not get to choose every event that shapes us, but we do get to choose how we respond. On August 7th, 2019, life hit me pretty hard, literally with a boat. I lost my right leg below the knee, and my left leg was hanging by the Achilles tendon. I knew exactly what had just happened in the water, and I specifically remember picturing my mom and thinking, I need to do whatever I can to get back to that lovely woman. I went from being a Division I athlete to people wondering if I would ever walk again. From the outside, it looked like everything I had worked for seemed to go missing. But I had a choice. I could be the victim people expected me to be, or I could be the leader my family and friends needed me to be to continue forward. To me, it looked like endless opportunities. My pirate life had begun. Now let me clarify something. Victimhood isn't about trauma, tragedy, or injustice. Victimhood is the mindset that follows. It sneaks in when life feels unfair. It sounds like, why me? I'm broken, or I'll never be the same again. That mindset is dangerous because it hands over the pen. You become a side character in your own life. But when you reject victimhood, you also reject entitlement, that belief that the world owes you something. Only then can you fully reclaim your story. One of Latin's core values is personal responsibility. You all know this, but no one can live your life for you. You are accountable for your actions, your growth, and how you show up for the community around you. That's not just a classroom lesson, that's a life lesson. And for me, it became a lifeline. Again, I had a choice: wait for my leg to magically grow back, or continue to move forward anyway. So let me rewrite those previous statements from above. I survived for a reason. The pain is a teacher. Or I get to rebuild even stronger. My accident shook my entire support system, so I had the opportunity to take control and steer everyone in the right direction. I wasn't just going to survive, it was time to thrive. So what do you do after life knocks you down, rips your leg off, and tries to write the ending for you? You get up, you start over, and if you're a little crazy like myself, you pick a sport that's built to break people. I chose triathlon, not because it sounded fun. In fact, it's type 2 fun, which is code word for pain now and maybe fun at the finish line. I hadn't swam in a lap pool since I was here in middle school at Latin. I had never clipped into a bike, and let's just say my one-legged stride was not race ready. But I needed a new goal. It was about reclaiming momentum, proving I still held the pen to my own story. Discipline beats talent when talent doesn't want to work hard. So I got to work. Early mornings, late nights, every drop of sweat was rebellion against the idea that my best days were behind me. Then, on September 2nd, 2024, in the heart of Paris, I was standing on a podium with USA across my chest and a silver medal around my neck. In that moment, everything slowed down. I remember thinking about the pain, the endless setbacks, and the moments where I wasn't sure what was going to be next. And now I stood there amongst the world's best. As a kid, I remember watching the movie Miracle on Ice. I was wondering, would I ever get the chance to represent my country in any capacity? or wear the colors red, white, and blue. I was now standing on the podium representing my country, but also I was representing the choice not to be a victim. 60 people from the US came to Paris to watch my 1-hour race. And the best part of it all, 59 of those folks got to enjoy a cold beer out of my prosthetic leg. The real victory was not the medal. It was the climb, the people beside me, and the grit that it took to get there. My story is just one of many. Everyone in this room is fighting something, seen or unseen. As long as you're breathing, the next chapter is still yours to write. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and best-selling author, said, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of the human freedoms. That is the freedom to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." So, class of 2025, I share this adventure not to scare you, but to empower you. It's just a heads up from a goofy pirate that once sat in the exact same seat as you. Life is not always fair, but life is super fun. It's beautiful, it's messy, it's brutal, and it's totally worth it. So as you walk off this stage and into the next chapter of your lives, remember, things may get hard, but you have a choice on how you respond. Also, the world doesn't owe you anything. Go out and earn it. Don't be a victim, have fun, and above all else, write your own story. Cheers and congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. Carson, thank you for inspiring words, clearly teaching resilience, and that you can do anything if you set your mind to it. All right. Up until this point, you all have been waiting patiently. I think there's something that we need to do. And so I'm going to ask Mr. Gorelick and Dr. Taylor and Mr. Wall and some others to take their posts so we can give you some diplomas.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, graduates. So as our seniors make their way to the stage, we kindly ask that family members are mindful of their applause and other expressions of joy. We want every family to be able to hear their student's name called. Jessie Isabel Adams. Claire Elizabeth Addison. Reese Taylor Algen. Allison Bliss Archibald. William Edward Austin III. Chanaka Sai Ayanala. Graham Thomas Babcock. Merritt Millard Backerman. Mary Cade Baldacki. Jack Philip Bancroft. James Richard Bang. Alexandra Grace Bean. Camille Austin Becker. Ross Samuel Bellavia. Maya Michelle Belton. Graham Andrew Blanton. Avery Jackson Booker. Julian Ravi Borkowski. Zoe Scarlett Bradley. William Kerr Brawley IV. Heber Keith Brunnemer IV. Ashley Catherine Burbank. Anastasia Sophia Gouletis Burke. Catherine Estelle Burke. William Mark Calloway. Robert Austin Chapman. Andrew Boshin Chen. Stuart MacDonald Christoph V. Grant Gordon Clark. Norvin Aaron Klontz III. Carson Ryan Clutter. Edward Jackson Coble. Emma Grace Coble. Taylor Darby Collins. Lila Grace Connor. Margaret Ann Cotchett. Casey Leona Cups O'Sullivan. Evan Elson Curb. Austin Larry Degenhart. Jeffrey Burke Denny. Alana Elizabeth Duffy. Charles Hillman Edwards IV. William Thomas Edwards. Caroline Brett Farney. Elizabeth Virginia Farmer. Dylan Joseph Farrow. Grace Elizabeth Fenn. Eleanor Leland Fisher. Claire Ashley Fleischer. Paige Sydney Fletcher. Virginia Elizabeth Foster. Michael Holden Freno. Nishanth Reddy Gautam. Natalie Spina Gaslin. Natalia Gomez. Nyla Jasmine Green. Catherine Lloyd Greiser. Cyan Veer Gulati. Lucas S. Hasse. John Edward Hall. Braden Nicholas Hampton. Grayson Margaret Georgia Hanson. Hadley Claire Elizabeth Hanson. Fiona Claire McLean Harper. Talia Teresa Hawa. Holden Grace Hendley. Jenna McRae Hustis. Sloan Lillian Hobart. Addison Jane Hull. Philip Michael Hollinger. Hannah Michelle Hurden. Margaret Falls Hyder. Titus Dominic Ivory. Lillian Grace Jarmosevich. Jackson Van Armstrong Gerald. James Christopher Jones. Ethan Christoph Corey. Cordelia Dale Kim. Jesse Eric Kim. Ryan Robin Kim. Margaret June Klingman. Madison Riley Larsh. William Dean Larsh. Evelyn Jennings Linker. Catherine Elizabeth Livingston. Aiden Mills Long. Darren Scott Lowe. Alessandra Isabel Martin. Tyler James McAndrews. James Anderson McCracken. Andrew Joseph McDonald. Ryan William McDonald. Joseph James McGirt. Brendan James Miles. Madeline Angelina Miles. Riley Monroe Milligan. Mallory Marie Morgan. Reese Elizabeth Morgan. Madison Joy Neighbors. Laura Larkin Nelligan. Nathan Robert Niles. Nathan Kwajo Obing. Ria Oberoy. Kenny Akbata. Griffin McGuire Arsinger. Leslie Osorio. Dorothy Benton Patterson. Gavin Scott Provencher. Ryan Hunter Purdom. Sydney Amanda Query. Nicole Christine Reed. William Tharp Reynolds III. William Darby Robelin. Anna Wallace Roberts. Catherine Claire Christine Roberts. Parker Alexander Rubinacci. Tucker John Rizika. Kavya Sagunarthi. Molly Mackenzie Schneider. Timothy McKinley Schwent. Charles Haywood Shamblin. Hudson Cruz Shoup. Mariana Hope Sideris. Charles Kenneth Sidman. Charles Brewer Smith. Jeffrey Edward Smith. Virginia Annabelle Smith. Thomas Bryce Spangler. Hugh Thomas Stenson. Adam Nathaniel Stone. Daria Lynn Strawn. Ainsley Marie Sullivan. Tyler Alexander Swartz. Cameron Matthew Teal. Max Nicholas Thompson. Anish Sayabiram Thota. Sydney Brooklyn Thune. David Tien. Robert Lusk Ugetta Jr. Asher Caleb Weirs. Nora Pennington White. Athena Elizabeth Woodward. Logan Swanchu. Bridget Olivia Yu. Will the class of 2025 please stand? Graduates, you may move your tassels. Congratulations to the class of 2025. You may applaud. We ask our graduates to please remain standing for the singing of the alma mater, and we ask all who are able and willing to please stand and join us, which will be followed by a reflection from Tyler McAndrews.
Vision of the future, treasure of the past, kindle wisdom, peace, love. So in adoration, spirit of truth and courage to unfold. Hail to Charlotte Latin, sounding forth to be we sing praise and thanks to thee.
The last time I spoke in front of this group of people was during convocation. I walked up and saw that everyone was standing, so I told them to sit down, which I was not supposed to do. And when I was done speaking, I dismissed the entire auditorium, which I also was not supposed to do. A few weeks ago, when I was informed of the opportunity I had to speak today, the bottom of the email read, in all caps, "Reminder, please do not ask anyone to leave." This email made me reflect on convocation, the first time we put on our caps and gowns as a class. I remember feeling that graduation was so far away. I convinced myself that we had time that didn't exist. I almost thought that we'd be in high school forever. While today proves I was wrong, I've come to understand that high school and Latin will be with us forever. These past 4 years, ones that we are so privileged to have had, have shaped us in more ways than we know. I hope you, like me, share a profound gratitude for the people sitting behind me now, the faculty, staff, and administrators, whose tireless commitment ensured that we had a meaningful experience here, one that we can look back on fondly and with pride. Latin's theme for this school year is Illuminate, which I find very fitting for our class. We've learned how to bring light wherever we are. We've found joy in each other's successes. We've celebrated all that is good about our community. That being said, I hope this is only the beginning of our desire to illuminate. I hope we take it into our colleges, jobs, and communities, shining light on the people and places that need it most. We won't all be in the same place again, as we have for the past 4 years, and longer for some of us, but we will continue to show up in all the ways that Latin has taught us to, ready to illuminate wherever we find ourselves. Congratulations.
Guests, thank you for being a part of this special day. Please remain at your seats until the music concludes. I hope you will join us in the Belk Gym for a reception to follow. Now, seniors, for the moment we've been waiting for and one of my favorite jobs. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the Charlotte Latin class of 2025. Let them rip.